My story is about a multi-partied rivalry between myself, my father, time, and my bladder. And spoiler alert, anytime that you have a rivalry with your bladder, you lose. I think that goes pretty much for anyone, not just for me, but any time you do that. So I was 5, and we were going to visit my grandmother, who lives a good hour away. And my dad, I imagine like many fathers out there, was really obsessed with making good time. You know, had to get to grandma's really fast because I don't know why. I mean, it's not like grandma was on any time schedule or anything. So we're getting ready to go, and we're packing up the car with all the things we need for grandma's, and my dad says to me, "Brad, do you need to go to the bathroom?" And I say no, because I'm 5 years old, I'm a grown man. I know when I need to go to the bathroom. Thank you, Father. And then my mom chimes in, and she's like, "Brad, are you sure? Do you want to try?" And I said, "Mother, no. I'm 5 years old. I know when I need to use the bathroom." So we get into the car, and I'm feeling pretty secure about myself, master of my domain, and we get about to the end of the driveway, and I really have to go to the bathroom. And this would not go over well with my rival father, who needs to make good time. So I'm going to hold it. I'm going to make it. And that doesn't last very long. So I debate. I have this inner monologue with myself and my bladder, and I'm trying to decide, should I tell my father that I need to go to the bathroom and he's not going to make good time and we need to pull over somewhere, or should I come up with something else? And I decide to come up with something else. And that something else is we have a pillow in the back seat, which was there for me to take a nap in on the way to grandmother's. But, you know, a pillow is sort of sponge-like. And so I sit on the pillow, and you have to imagine, like, you can't drop trow, because your parents will turn around and be like, "Why are you not wearing pants?" So I just sit on the pillow, and I just go. And it feels great. It feels great. And I'm okay. And then I like roll down the window. You know, this is back in the day when you had to do this to roll down the window. There was no button. And I figure, you know, I'm a smart 5-year-old, and I'm like, oh, the wind, right? The wind will dry everything, and then no one will know. So somehow we get to grandma's, and no one has noticed anything, and we go into my grandmother's house and we give grandma a big hug, and she's like, "Oh, Brad, it's good to see you." And she's like, "Oh, you're wet, you know?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's summer, it's hot, you know? I got to go to the bathroom." And I don't know why she buys that, because she's old, maybe, I don't know. And so I go into the bathroom, and I take a towel off of my grandmother's rack, and I like dry myself off, and then dry my shorts off, and then I put the towel back on the rack. That should give you all pause next time you go into the bathroom. Don't use the towel, just air dry. So then we spend a great day at my grandmother's house and have a bunch of fun, and everyone has a good time. And, you know, I had left the window open, so I figured it would be dry when I get back in the car at the end of the day. And so we're leaving, and we pack up the car, and we get back in the car, and it is not dry. It's not dry. And as a matter of fact, underneath the pillow, my dad had leather seats, and so leather doesn't really absorb urine the way you want it to. So there's a puddle underneath the pillow. So I'm really at a loss here. And now it's kind of cold too, so having the windows down when you're going down the highway isn't as enjoyable an experience. But nonetheless, I have to persevere here, so I really have all the windows down, and we're going 60 miles an hour, and I'm freezing in the back, but I'm like, I gotta do this because that's the only way no one will ever find out my secret. And we get home, and it's still not dry, and we pull into the garage, and I think if I can just make a mad dash for the house, maybe they'll leave the pillow in there, and it'll dry overnight. And so we get in, the garage door opens, we pull in, I'm bat out of hell, I jump out of the car, I'm running into the house, and my dad sees the pillow in the back, and he opens up the door, and he says, Brad, you forgot your pillow, and he's reaching for it, and I'm in slow motion, no! And he grabs it, and he looks at his hand, and he's smells, and he figures it out. And I got in a lot of trouble. So now I have to use the bathroom. Thank you.